Okay, hello movie and TV fans. Today we are going to be talking about Hawkeye. I didn't get to do an episode review for episode 6, but I'm going to sort of make it up with this video. I'm going to be ranking all 6 Hawkeye episodes from the worst to the best. There is going to be spoilers for the Hawkeye episodes. This is Max Reviews. I'm Brayden, and just for a point of reference, in the beginning of the Hawkeye show, I didn't know if I really liked it as much, the first 2 episodes, because there wasn't much tension or anything. And then as we got in from, like, episode 3 right to the end, I could tell that this was a lot more laid-back show. And in that way, I really liked it, because if you think about WandaVision, it had a bunch of tension, like a whole town under her control, and lasers and vision, mind stone, and all this stuff. Loki, it was a lot more laid back, but it all had tons of tensions, like the entire multi-universe was on its shoulders. And then you also had Falcon the Winter Soldier, which had a bunch of stuff on it with the Zemo and all this stuff, and the Captain America name and all that. And What If was also multi-universal stuff. And this is a lot more laid-back show, where it seems like everybody, maybe Kingpin has some powers, but it seems like everybody has no powers and are just regular people fighting and trying to fix the Ronin thing. Which, that's sort of what I wanted from this show, I guess. I thought there would be some tension, because just basic MCU, there's a lot of tension, a lot of big stuff going on. But this was a lot more laid-back show, and I like that. So, we gotta start off our ranking here. And just so you know, I enjoyed most all of these episodes. But anyway, last place, in 5th place here, is gonna be episode 2, Hide and Seek. And this episode, I just don't feel like it did much. You have Hawkeye just basically going around and try to get his suit. You do get some stuff with meeting the firefighters and trying to figure out where it is, while Kate and him get a better relationship. But this was just the episode that I felt didn't have me hooked as much. It was just like, okay, because Kate and Hawkeye aren't 100% there with the relationship. The banter isn't 100% there. And just I didn't like the whole thing where he had to go to get his suit with the firefighters. Like, I know it's a much easier, laid-back episode and show, but this just felt like, really, we're gonna have an Avenger fight a guy for the Ronin suit. I didn't like it as much as the other episodes. Anyway, in 5th place here is going to be episode 1, Never Meet Your Heroes. Now, I like this episode quite a bit, and it does start out with Kate seeing Hawkeye at the Avengers battle, and this is probably, this is like the the 3rd time that we've seen this battle. I don't know, we've seen it quite a few times in MCU, but they're replaying it, and it's really cool to see it from her perspective, and losing her dad. And then we go to present day, we meet her and charming self, and then we meet Clint and his family and what's going on with them. And then they meet up, sort of a thing at the end, and she takes the Ronin suit, and the Armand guy is dead. And so this episode, it was nice for setting everything up. I don't think it was huge. It just sort of set everything up pretty nicely, and it had the Ronin suit and stuff introduced, and also all the characters. So I thought it was fine. It wasn't huge or anything. But in 4th place here, episode 4, Partners, Am I Right? I liked this episode a lot more the more I thought about it, because I really liked it in some ways. And also I felt it was still a bit more laid back, because I was expecting it to build up the tension and stuff, and it didn't do that. And now seeing that it's at the end of the show, I think it moved up a spot or 2 maybe, because I realized it had what I wanted. It had Clint and Kate just hanging out, and her going to his place for Christmas, sort of a thing. And it was just nice. They hung out, they talked, they bantered, and they had fun with the dog, sort of a thing. It was just really nice. And then we got the final fight with Echo and Yelena, and got to see them for a few seconds. And it's not as fun to see Yelena right here because she doesn't say anything, but it is nice, a nice little street fight kind of a thing, and I enjoyed it enough. The episode as a whole, my initial review, I didn't think it was too good, but now that I'm rethinking it, and rewatching it, I'm like, this makes a lot of sense for what the show is. So, in third place here is going to be episode 3, Echoes. Echoes. I really like this episode because it gave us Echo. And we got to see her backstory, and we got to see that her uncle was possibly the Kingpin, and we got to see her and come up and see her come up to Hawkeye and Kate, and also we had a bunch of great action scenes in there, especially the fight when they're going around in the car, and then it's really emotional to see Clint be trying to talk to his son with Kate saying stuff, and that was just really emotional, and seeing him just be there with them, and just, it's really emotional. And we also get sort of like them getting together for the first time and actually interacting a bunch and stuff, so that's nice. Echo is just a really great character, I think, and I can't wait to see her in her show. With how the show ends, I could see a lot of potential for her character, and it's going to be really nice to see it. Anyway, second place here is going to be episode 5, Ronin. I like this episode because it sort of built out the tension a bit more, and it had the end with Kingpin. It showed us, yes, this is where we're actually going. We got a bunch of really nice talk with Yelena and Kate. It's just really great to see Yelena here. She's being fun, but she's also sort of interrogating Kate, and she's also at the same time saying she's going to kill Clint Barton. And that just, it's great to see Yelena in this. And then also with Echo, her trying to figure out who actually killed her dad. And then we end with Ronin fighting and then beating Echo and then showing that he's Clint. And just really great action in this episode, along with having emotions, and it also had just it added a bit more tension to it, just a bit. And I'm fine with this show being laid back, but this episode was just nice. I really enjoyed it. But in first place here is gonna be episode 6. So Is This Christmas? And this episode, it was everything that I wanted and maybe a bit more, because it had all the interactions, it had the great action, and they actually went for it. They made it over an hour long. And all the other shows, I don't think they did that. They didn't make it an hour long. They didn't go for it 100%. And this episode, I love that it has the action, it has the tension sort of thing, it has Kingpin in it, and you have all these characters and everything going on, and it also can take a moment and just have Yelena and Kate being in the elevator, and Kate pushing on the buttons, so that, trying to push all the buttons, and then you have just little sequence here where she does push all the buttons. And that's what I like about the show, that it took the time. And even the really, really great joke where he gets in the tree and there's an owl. There's a cute little owl in there. And then the owl comes up for the payoff for the joke. I knew they would do something. And he takes the guys and flies up. It's just, I was laughing the hardest. That was the funniest joke of the entire show. I just really loved that. And that they showed they would take time to do that sort of stuff. It's not huge. It's just really nice and heartfelt. And you get to see Eleanor Bishop, Kate's mom. She goes to prison at the end. Kingpin in this episode, I don't think he was nearly as good as he was in the Daredevil show, but I'm fine with him actually being in here. If they actually kill him, I think it was really stupid to even show him, because that makes no sense if you're going to show Kingpin and then have him die in the same episode that you show him. It's so stupid. But I think he's still alive. So that's positive for that. You also get Echo. She shoots Kingpin. I don't know if he dies, but she shoots who she thinks who killed her dad. And so she sort of comes full circle. Yelena and Hawkeye have this big fight. And then Hawkeye's like, she sacrificed herself. And then he does the whistle. And they just take a second to be like, whoa. And that, from Black Widow, I think this parallels very well with Black Widow and Avengers Endgame. Because you have Clint having the Ronin suit and have to deal with that. And you have Yelena having to deal with her sister dying. And you have that whistle. And he tells her, she told me about you. And it's really emotional. And also, it has great action. And it could be really funny at times. And it could do all that. And it ends on a great note. The only thing that I could say was a bit confusing was Jack. Jack was super fun in this episode. I love Jack. He's so fun in every episode that he's in. But I didn't really understand what was going on with him. He's just a regular guy? Is that it? It just, I don't know. And then, just the final thing, having Kate and Clint go to his house and celebrate Christmas with his family, and she being sort of accepted. It's great. And it's just the show. This is not going to be my favorite MCU show. I might do a ranking for that, but I liked it. I really did. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the ride. And it might not be as big as Falcon the Winter Soldier or WandaVision or even Loki. It was the smallest scale MCU show. And even if it's the worst of them, I still really, really enjoyed it. So just so you know, that's my thoughts on the entire show and the episodes. I've got a playlist somewhere on my channel. If you go to playlist for Hawkeye, I reviewed all the episodes except for the final one because last night there's so much going on in December with new movies coming out, and then we have Book of Boba Fett and Cobra Kai Season 4, and then also Spider-Man rankings and Christmas, so I didn't have time to review that, but I got this episode thing. Just so everybody knows here, for Marvel fans and stuff, in January, probably around January 14th, maybe 13th, I don't know, sometime around there, whenever after Eternals comes to Disney+, I gotta watch it, I'm gonna review it, and then I'm gonna rank every MCU show and movie, because I've seen every MCU show and movie right now, except for Eternals. And so, unfortunately, Eternals isn't gonna be in my end-of-the-year ranking, which is going to be coming out somewhere in the first 3 days of January. And then, I think I'm going to be ranking every show that I saw this year sometime in January, probably the first week of January, all the shows that I saw this year. So, all the MCU shows are going to be in there. Cobra Kai Seasons 3 and 4, Book of Boba Fett, all those good shows are going to be in there. And so just thank you for watching. Leave your comments down below what you thought of the Hawkeye show as a whole, and also your favorite episodes. Because there was some okay episodes, and there was some really good episodes in there. So, thank you for watching. I'm Brayden. This is Max Reviews. Brayden out.